Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Phoebe Lai, and I'm the Director of Industry Relations at Trojan Vision. I'm a screenwriting student at the School of Cinematic Arts and also your host for the evening. This is my co-host and Trojan Vision alumni, Tiffany Taylor.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Phoebe. I'm Tiffany Taylor, and I graduated from USC in 2014, and we are so excited to have you all here to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Trojan Vision.
It's my pleasure to start the night with a very special guest who facilitated the foundation of Trojan Vision 25 years ago. Welcome, Dean Elizabeth Daley of the School of Cinematic Arts.
Hello. Well, it's wonderful to be with you. And I can't believe it's been 25 years, but I'm so excited to get to celebrate this evening with all of you. You know, the university didn't have an official campus television station until Trojan Vision was founded. And we were fortunate enough to be able to put it at the Robert Zemeckis Center for Digital Arts, where we had really state-of-the-art television studio and production facilities. You know, Trojan Vision today is doing exactly what we wanted it to do 25 years ago. It's giving students from all across the university a chance to work together to create compelling television for their peers and show themselves and their peers to a larger world. From the beginning, the students have always been the heart of the programming. All our shows are produced and crewed by students who are registered in the courses that Trojan Vision offers, as well as student volunteers from departments all across the campus. It's a real chance, I think, for a larger group of USC folks to come together than usually get to in classes. You know, students who enroll in these classes learn how to work in a really professional live production environment by creating and producing 30-minute multi-camera television shows. Trojan Vision, actually, when it began 25 years ago, the person who stood by us to start it was a man by the name of Don Tillman. Don was a very successful television producer and executive in the 1980s and 90s. He had served as executive producer for KTTV in Los Angeles. And during that time, he was nominated for 5 Los Angeles area Emmy Awards. In fact, I have to say, one of the first shows I ever got to do, Don was my executive producer, and we got that nomination. He was an amazing man who truly loved making media for a larger public. I had the privilege of working with Don for all those years, plus a number of years before I even came to USC. He understood how live television worked, and he really wanted all of the students to have an opportunity to really experience the excitement of live television. Don started with us in the beginnings in 1998 and was with us for the next 20 years. He was certainly beloved by students, and without him, I don't think we would have ever gotten Trojan Vision off the ground. It is still the very university program that Don helped create. He wanted it open to all students, and most of the students who join us actually are not film students. Many of these students have never set a foot on a set and know absolutely nothing about the production of television, except that they want to make things and be part of a community that makes media. They're curious and they have a desire and motivation to discover a career, no matter what their real major is. We continue to offer them an opportunity to operate the camera, sit in the control booth, create a game show, or put on a live comedy show. I hope above everything that Trojan Vision makes their time here at USC a little more exciting and sends them out with a much, much deeper understanding of how media actually gets made. So today, Trojan Vision streams a full slate of original television shows on our Facebook page, as well as on the Time Warner Educational Channel 36, that goes out to over 700,000 households in the greater Los Angeles area. This has been true ever since the beginning. Shortly after we started Trojan Vision, I was in Budapest and happened to turn on the television in the hotel room. That was a time when television in Hungary was pretty limited. And I looked and there was Trojan Vision running in Budapest. We have some Trojan Vision graduates who ended up falling in love with live television, and they entered the industry and succeeded in that very area. At the time we started Trojan Vision, it's true, no one knew if it would survive. A number of my colleagues thought it was a very risky endeavor and wondered why we wanted to do it. But we proved them all wrong, all the doubters. Trojan Vision has been going strong for 25 years. It's been through a lot of changes as times have changed and the industry has changed. Hey, we survived the pandemic and came out stronger than ever. Through the years, Trojan Vision has, of course, gotten more and more sophisticated equipment, moved into another stage at the Zemeckis Center, and built several new studio spaces, including most recently creating 2 podcasting classes. So tonight, we're going to celebrate what we were, what we are now, and what we hope to be in the future. And I'm so grateful to all of you for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Dean Daley. And now we would like to extend a warm welcome to Susan Arnold, the Vice Chair of SCA's Production Division. Susan facilitates Trojan Vision engagement with production leadership, operations, and procedures.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. So a year and a half ago, I was asked as part of my duties as Vice Chair of Production to oversee Trojan Vision. And I have to be honest, at the time, I wasn't even sure what Trojan Vision was. And I wasn't sure what it meant to take on this new responsibility. But now, over about a year and a half later, I have to say I'm a convert. The program is growing, it's changing, and it's thriving. So as most of everybody knows that's on this webinar, the core of Trojan Vision is the class CTPR 409. So now this class has 6 different sections, and it's a television program, laboratory course, and students plan and produce these programs themselves. So over this first summer that I did this, Kathleen Dowdy and I hired 6 new dynamic adjunct faculty members to teach this course, and each one of them have a different expertise. And students now also have the choice of which section of the class they want to take. So depending on their interest, they can take sports, comedy show, news programs, or this newly developed game show section, which is really exciting. All our classes are full and the students are engaged. We've also entered the new and exciting territory, as Dean Daley mentioned, of podcasting by starting a podcast course. We hired 2 experienced podcasters to teach it, and we expanded from 1 podcast to 2. So now we offer a panel news-based video production podcast course. And for the very first time this semester, which I'm particularly excited about, we have a class in narrative scripting podcasting. So these Trojan Visions, these 2 Trojan Vision classes, podcast classes, are in collaboration with the Annenberg School, our cinema school, schools of writing, and the Dramatic Arts School. And because they're part of this new USC podcasting minor. In these classes, students create an idea, they research, they write the script, they host, they cast, they record, they promote a podcast episode. We feel really proud that we're training students for an unbelievably popular and relevant industry. So what I've realized is that Trojan Vision is a wonderful club. And once you're in it for life. Students come back semester after semester. Look at all of you. They become showrunners. They become student advisors. They volunteer. Alumni come back to teach and they give back to the program. So it's true, Trojan Vision once felt like an unexplored territory to me, but having had this opportunity to help nurture and grow this program, I truly look at it as an honor to be let into this very wonderful club. So congratulations on 25 years. Thanks.
Just waiting for Phoebe to join me. There she is.
Hello. We have a great program planned for you tonight, but first let's get to know my co-host. Tiffany, can you tell us more about yourself?
Yeah, so during During my time at Trojan Vision, I was the host and showrunner of an entertainment news show called The Scoop, and I was a host for CU at USC. And I still work in entertainment news today. I'm a host and producer for The Hollywood Reporter, where I've worked 6 years. And I totally believe I would not have my current job if it were not for my time at Trojan Vision. I don't think there's any other college TV station where you get to actually go to the Oscars as a student or cover red carpet events, and all that experience is things I use in my job every single day. So I'm so excited to hear from these other alumni who are here, because I think they're going to say similar things, that we have our jobs and are in this industry because of what we learned at Trojan Vision.
Great, thank you, Tiffany. So we are actually going to show a program tease. So yeah, let's take a look. I hope that got you all excited for the following program. So tonight we're celebrating alumni like Tiffany, who made the past 25 years of Trojan Vision possible. Back to our first ever show broadcast in 1997. Take a look.
Please tell me if that's true.
Because, yeah, we don't have Puffy. We need Puff. Mitchell along with James C. Mathis III. Tonight is the first night of Trojan Vision, brought to you by Media One's Channel 62. We're now going to take you inside and give you a brief tour of what the Trojan Vision facilities are like. Come on, follow us. So,
the first night was a interesting evening, because we had 2 young men who were hosting the thing, and the 2 young men were very funny. They were comedians. They did improv comedy and so on and so forth. And they were going to host the whole evening. We went on the air. We're live. Dean Daley can remember, because she was sitting in what was then the front office up there, and things were going reasonably well.
A USC sophomore dies in an apartment fire. Police arrest an arson suspect and charge him with murder.
And all of a sudden, every bit of power in this building went out. I mean, it just stopped everything.
He runs one of the most prestigious universities in the country, but few people know the man in charge of the University of Southern California.
We lost cameras.
We lost power completely.
Director, we lost camera.
All power.
We lost all power.
Cameras. And the monitors.
In the morning.
So we had to kind of drop back and regroup, and of course everybody was a little shaky after that, so the rest of the evening was nothing to write home to mother about. But then we started on a regular basis on producing programming and coming up with new ideas and new creative things to do, and that continues to this day.
Oh, I was awesome watching that video. And as we all know, that with live TV, especially in our time at Trojan Vision, sometimes things would go wrong, but it taught you that the show, must go on. But now we'd like to introduce our first alumni guest, James Mathis, who made an appearance in that video. James graduated in 1997 as a production major at SCA. Currently, he's an actor and voice actor, best known as the voice of T'Challa, aka Black Panther, in the show Marvel's Avengers Black Panther's Quest, which was nominated twice for the NAACP Image Awards. James, welcome.
Wow, thank you for having me. Fight on.
Yeah, of course. James, you were actually the first one to notify Trojan Vision about our 25th anniversary. How does it feel to watch that video back and now know that Trojan Vision has become an entire TV station at USC?
Well, it's nice to see more dark hair on my face, that's for sure. Obviously I'm 25 years older, but it's great to celebrate, the hard work of all the Trojans over the years to maintain the channel for as long as it's been on. I think it's great. I think it's worthy of celebration. I'm a bit of a nostalgist, so I keep up on things like that. And I was just really glad to see that it's still going on. And I spoke to Marcus today, who was my co-host that day, and we we had a good laugh about the start of Trojan Vision. And I even have my shirt. I almost wore it, but yeah, there we are. It's on.
Wow.
It's on Trojan Vision. Yeah, super cool.
Oh, that's awesome. And how did you and your friend find yourself in those roles, being these two, comedians introducing
Right.
Trojan Vision?
I was an actor who went to film school. I just couldn't commit to being an actor officially, and I had other aspirations. And so I spent a lot of time in the film and TV community as a potential filmmaker, but I was also an actor. So Marcus and I had that association. We're also fraternity brothers in Alpha Phi Alpha, and it all just clicked, right place, right time. And I was glad to see the school acknowledge the other portion of the hyphen. It used to be the School of Cinema hyphen Television, and everything was all about cinema. And I just felt like TV deserved a little bit more recognition and attention. And so it was great for such an esteemed university who hadn't had a TV program necessarily, or a TV station, finally have that come to fruition. I thought it was about time.
How do you
Yeah,
feel
and-
like your experience at Trojan Vision, impacted your career today and everything that you've accomplished?
Well, it certainly reinforced the notion to think quickly on your feet. And so because of that, I'm prepared. I have done live TV as well since then. And it's just great. It's just great. I remember the collective effort and the swoon and the swell for everyone to make that a reality. And so it was just great to see it happen for real and to be a small part in it.
Yeah, and how was your involvement in TV as opposed to film or as an actor, or the environment of being in television?
I worked a lot on film sets and TV sets actually during my last couple of years at SC. So I'd become very familiar with the multi-camera setup, and I directed the multi-camera project when I was there. I think it was called a 466, and it was taught by Mark Warren, who was the second Black man to win a directing Emmy, and Sam Denoff, who was an esteemed writer at the time. And so I was very interested in television and not just film. I produced a 480 as well. So by the time I left SC, I had done the things to do in the film and TV space. And it's great to see students get the opportunity to succeed and fail at jobs that they will ultimately have the pressure of only succeeding in when they become professionals. And I think she touched on that earlier, that it's really important to have that opportunity to learn, to take risks, and to learn your strengths and your weaknesses.
And would you say that experience at all at Trojan Vision prepared you for leaving, after graduation?
Yes, I feel like I was very well prepared, in part because of the experience that I'd had outside of campus and what I was able to bring to my limited experience there at Trojan Vision, even just offering insight to people who would be there to carry on. It was my very last semester there. And so I was just grateful to pass the torch to people who cared as much about the medium as I did.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for speaking with us tonight, James. We really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Fight
yeah.
on. Fight on.
You have the pom-poms and everything. You were
Oh,
ready.
yeah, I'm ready. I'm a Trojan. I'm always prepared.
That's the thing you learn, graduating from USC. The Trojan family is strong, especially in the entertainment industry.
Absolutely. Hope to see you guys at homecoming.
All right. Thank you, James.
Absolutely. Thank you. And continued success with Trojan Vision for the next 25.
And up next, we have a video looking back at the early years of Trojan Vision.
If you were working at the station then, keep an eye out for yourself and your show. Here we go.
And welcome to a new season of Mind Games here on Trojan Vision. I'm Josh Wu, your host, and we thank you for joining us on this Friday morning. And we're getting ready. We have some exciting new changes this year if you've tuned in to us in the past. So keep watching in the coming weeks. I might be asking some questions. See how many you can spot.
Good evening and welcome to See You at USC. I'm your host, Jill Schneiderman, and I am joined tonight by the Tom Hanks. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Jill.
This is wonderful.
Nice to be back at USC.
Welcome to the show. We have Weirdo Yankovic.
Well,
Hi.
hello. How are you?
You got pillows.
I do. I love these pillows. These are historical pillows. They've been with the show for 500 years, you said?
It's about how long we've been on air.
Oh, they're wonderful.
They smell like it. Actually, I wonder if they've ever been washed. I don't know if I should
I
be
hope
wondering.
not. I hope I have some George Lucas bacteria on my face now.
Welcome back to the series premiere of Delish. I'm your host, Bernie Lead. Christian Navarro, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Good morning.
Final episode of the semester.
Hello guys and welcome back to Citizen LA, Trojan Vision's classiest new show, bringing you all information about living in the middle of the entertainment industry.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am not Elliot Seal, but this is Chris Callum Hayes, Evan Butteridge. I'm Law Murray hosting today.
14-9 at the very end of the third quarter. And Dave, you thought that they had all the momentum in the world.
A costume designer? Well, that's the most magical profession I can think of.
It was a classic example, of always be nice to the little people.
Right.
Like you.
Like me.
And yeah.
I'm right there.
Because you never know when they might be big people. In your case, it's kind of probably questionable.
Right, it probably won't happen.
But nevertheless.
With actress, comedian, performer, superstar, Sarah Silverman. Is that your Sarah Silverman? Right. I forget the name sometimes because we do so many of these days, and it's.
Are people going to be able to call in?
People could call in right now. If somebody, this is live right now on the campus. If somebody called in right now, we could actually bring the phone out. You could talk to them if you'd like.
Really?
Okay, it's a dare right now to anybody watching at home. I don't know how they'd set that up.
Is this the camera? You don't have the guts to call in.
We have to not only keep up with it, we have to keep a little ahead of it. Because, when we look at all of you who we're so proud of, we know that we have to make sure you're ready to work 3 years out, 5 years out, not just today. So it becomes an issue of how do you anticipate what's likely to happen and make sure that you're in an environment that enables you to at least walk out the door and immediately work in today's world and
hopefully tomorrow as well.
Yep.
It was so fun watching that. But the crazy thing is that apparently is the early days of Trojan Vision. And I recognized many of those people. And that was when I was there. And I didn't realize I was old enough to be there during the early days. But now we're going to talk to two former students who were the backbone of some of the shows we just watched. Our first alumni guest is Mac Elder, class of 2006. Mac was highly involved at the station. He was the executive producer of Visual Frequency, nightly producer and host of See You at USC, and director for Screen Test, amongst several other positions. He has years of experience in everything from reality TV to animation, and today he works in liquor brand marketing and writes from his home in Middle Tennessee.
Hey, it is fantastic to be here, FTFO.
Great to have you, Mac. Our second alumni guest is Cassie Brooksbank, who graduated in 2011 as a production major. At Trojan Vision, she was our general manager, but since graduating, she's worked as a commercial director through her own company, The X Collective, as well as a global production company called Great Guns. She's directed campaigns for major brands like Ford, Dodge, and most recently, a World Cup spot for Pepsi that stars Lionel Messi. And her first film is also in development at Balboa Productions, and it stars Sylvester Stallone. Welcome, you two.
Happy to be here. Fight on, guys.
Fight on. Cassie's the legend.
Cassie was the queen of Trojan Vision back in the day. She'll be humble and she won't say that, but she was the queen. And we are so excited to talk to both of you. What was going through your head while you were watching those old clips?
Oh my God. It's just crazy because I think that first clip you guys showed with Don Tillman was actually one of the first videos I ever directed back in the day. And I mean, literally I think that was the first like directing credit I ever got. And it was through Trojan Vision that I even had the confidence to become a director, because I think Justin Mandel was the producer in charge of the project back then, and now he's working for Gordon Ramsay. But he's like, great, you're directing that. And I mean, he just kind of threw me out there, and it was like, it gave me the confidence to pretty much direct ever since then. So I literally owe Trojan Vision everything, and it's so cool to see it, what it's become in the last 25 years.
And I remember Justin sending me that and just being like, watch this. Like that was, I remember, like I'd moved cross country at that point and just still being part of that Trojan Vision web. It was great.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And did your time at Trojan Vision have any effect on the work you did after graduating or what you did now? Mac, why don't you start?
I can trace every single part of my career and most of my major life decisions since graduating back to Trojan Vision. It got me my internship at MTV. It got me my first music video production work after graduating, got me my work at Warner Music. Through that reel, through each of these sort of going, informed my decision to move to Nashville more than 10 years ago now. And really, it was the work that I did at Trojan Vision, the reel that I built up off of that, the work that I did that has really informed the course of my life and changed my life so much for the better.
And you, Cassie?
I mean, yeah, geez, I can't even emphasize enough how much I owe to Trojan Vision. I mean, first of all, it got me into the film school because I got admitted as a history major. And, I remembered orientation, the girl, I ran over to the cinema kids and she's like, sweetie, it's easier to get into Harvard Law. So I remember like crying to Marcus Anderson. He's like, it's okay, like you can do Trojan Vision and you can get involved and then maybe you'll get into the film school. And I immediately I got involved in Trojan Vision, and the coolest part about it was like, when you're in the cinema school, you don't get to touch the equipment till like junior year, really. And right off the bat, they like put a camera in your hand. I got to direct stuff right away. I got to interview Spielberg and Lucas. And, meanwhile, I was like, my number one goal was like getting into the film school. And I had to apply 5 times. So eventually Dean Daley won, but it's, like, it was insane because by the time I got into the film school, I was so much further ahead than everybody because from day one, I had been learning everything at Trojan Vision. And then, like there was also a production company associated with Trojan Vision at the time where we would do jobs for the school and like, and basically I learned how to run a production company. So then when I graduated, I was able to take that knowledge, start my own little company. And I had this directing reel from, because we were doing real jobs for real clients, and I guess the school, you have to give the school a lot of credit because we definitely blew the budgets in a lot of ways. But I learned how to run a company. And then when I graduated, I had all this ad work. So I had a commercial reel and I knew how to run a company. So I got my start in commercial directing. And I literally have a career because of what Trojan Vision gave me. So yeah, I owe everything to.
And quick making off of those, they wouldn't let me on that because they were scared I was going to break something. But big on that back then was Veronica Flores, who was my co-EP on Visual Frequency. And I just got to say, endlessly tenacious and insanely inventive, and without whom none of this would have happened. And just want to give a shout out to my partner on my favorite show, on the show I co-ran for the last 2 years. I was here, and a lot of stuff happened. I could be here for hours.
I know. Sorry, on that end too, it's just like everybody you met at Trojan Vision, like even to this day, my key relationships came from Trojan Vision. Like Jason Lubin was a guy I did the production group with at the time. He introduced me to the writer who just wrote my feature. And I wouldn't have a feature if I hadn't had that relationship. Mary Lavanos, she's a producer at Marvel now, but I met her at Trojan Vision. She introduced me to my agent at CAA, and that's how. So literally, the biggest things in my life all came from TVA. So.
That was basically what I was going to ask, because Cassie, I know your whole family was pretty much a part of Trojan Vision, but as far as friends and colleagues, I know for myself, one of my first jobs out of college at Dick Clark Productions, I got from someone I knew that I did the scoop with at Trojan Vision. So even aside from working relationships, are there any friends from Trojan Vision either of you still keep in contact with?
I mean, absolutely. Look, one of the guys in my hall who ended up being my roommate for 2 years here at USC was the guy who was like, yeah, over at Zemeckis, they let you like touch the cameras right now. So like second week freshman year, we went over there, and a guy by the name of Derek Stricker, who I talk to still constantly, and he's an editor on The Flash on the CW. I'll keep in sporadic contact with people. I'll find stuff like I'll be going through my things, and I'll just remember things like, here's my, does that show up? Oh, it's because it's against a green screen. That's my original crew on Visual Frequency. That's May of 2003. I've still got some of my old Trojan Vision stuff, and I'll bring people up occasionally. And but I wrote down the names of every VJ we had on VF, and just thinking like, these people were ridiculously influential to me, and I don't see them enough, and I don't tell them enough how good this was.
Yeah, it's so inspiring to hear how much an effect Trojan Vision still leaves on you guys, and how you guys still carry it. And it's really nice to know that you guys still think about it and appreciate it today. So yeah, thank you guys so much for speaking with us, Cassie.
I'm wearing my shirt. This is our original crew shirt, so yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, well, thank you for speaking with us. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us. It's really exciting to see what you guys are doing, and I hope to see Trojan Vision continue for the next 25 years.
Yeah, another quarter century. It was a real pleasure. Right on.
And now we're going to revisit the most recent years of Trojan Vision. So
we have another video for you guys, so let's roll the clip.
Welcome back to See You at USC, and please give a warm welcome to our wonderful guest, director and producer, Leslie Iwerks. Hi, thanks so much for coming in. Good, how are you?
Good.
Good, please take a seat.
Nice to be back in my old stomping grounds.
I know, yeah, so you were a USC alum, fight on.
Yep.
Yeah, and you were in the cinema school, right?
Yep.
Right. What was your major? Production?
Production.
Wow, that's very exciting.
Okay.
Do you not approve?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I didn't say anything.
You're gonna love it, okay?
Hey everyone, I'm your host Olivia, and I can't wait to fill you all in on all the latest stories in Hollywood.
Someone asked me like, oh, this is such a different, really different character that you're playing, and I was like, yeah, acting. Like,
everyone on the set is working just as hard as you, and just have respect for the people around you.
And remember what came before you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to keep it rolling.
And next question, who was given the longest standing ovation in Oscars history in 1972? A, Walt Disney, B, Orson Welles, or C, Charlie Chaplin? 5, 4, 3,
I'm gonna go with
2,
Walt Disney.
1. Okay.
Go with B.
Oh,
Charlie
Chaplin.
Good morning, USC, and welcome back to the Morning Brew.
We have so much news this week. I mean, it's been crazy, right, Sarah?
It has definitely been a morning, but also a week.
Yes, just for the entire world, not only for USC's campus. I mean, so many things are changing. We have this new Zoom program for our classes. I had my first one yesterday. Have you had one yet?
I have not had a Zoom.
Yes, I had it yesterday, and it's really interesting. It's kind of like a group FaceTime with your professor and your classmates.
Give it up for the breakdown one last time.
Okay, Sully, we have to calm down.
How can I? If I have coronavirus, that means Corona time is over.
No, Sully, coronavirus has nothing to do with beer, okay? It's just a potentially deadly pandemic.
Oh, thank God.
I know.
14 playoff is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, especially when you consider the fact that it's not even the criterion for making that 14 playoff is fluctuating year in and year out.
It's so cool to see that some of the shows that were on Trojan Vision when I was there are still being produced today, like The Scoop. I think I was around when The Scoop was founded, and to see it's still being made, that's awesome.
Let's welcome back some recent alumni who played a huge role in making those shows. First, we have Dia Mehta, who graduated in 2021. At Trojan Vision, she was a senior producer and marketing manager, and she also worked on The Morning Brew and CU at USC. After graduation, she worked as a PA at the Ellen DeGeneres Show, and today she's working at Paramount Pictures Velocity as a production manager. Welcome, Dia.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And we also have the pleasure of speaking to Michelle Askew. Michelle graduated in 2021 as a screenwriting major, and at Trojan Vision, she hosted and show ran The Breakdown. Since graduating, her comedy feature script, Hot Girl Summer, was selected for the 2021 Blacklist. Talk about impressive. And it's currently attached to a director. But that's not even all. She also worked as the writer's PA on Apple TV's The Morning Show, and her directorial debut, Gayish, will premiere later this year. Welcome to both of you. It is amazing to hear that you were doing so much already right out of college.
Thank you. It's exhausting. No, it's great. And it's so happy to be here. Watching that video just made me so emotional. Like, I miss college so much.
It's so great to hear what everyone's doing. Everyone's doing such cool stuff. I love it.
Yeah, Michelle, what were the thoughts going through your head while you saw those videos of yourself on screen?
First of all, the pandemic jokes did not age well, let me tell you that. I was like, oh, I think I wrote that one. No, but it was just so fun getting to see, you know, so many familiar faces back in the studio, and it just brings so many memories back, and also seeing kind of all of the previous alum that spoke, how much overlap there is between all of our stories. And, you know, even though we're all different ages and we're there at different times, Trojan Vision really has been that one staple that's kind of connected everyone together.
Yeah, and Dia, you can really feel the excitement and the passion that students poured into those shows. Do you personally have any favorite memories or moments from those live tapings?
I feel like passion is the perfect word to use, because I feel like my favorite moments are right before you go on air. Everyone's running around set trying to get everything perfect before we air. So that was probably some of my favorite memories during Trojan Vision.
Now you both just, oh, what were you saying?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I know it's hard over Zoom to not talk over each other. I wish we were in person all together, but hopefully maybe the next Trojan Vision anniversary, we will be able to do that. But I just wanted to say for both of you, you are so young and already doing so much. Michelle, if you want to go first, and then Dia, if you want to add your own take on this too, what has it been like transitioning from being at USC and being at Trojan Vision to, you know, being in the working world?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely, the pandemic has kind of put a whole other film on that wouldn't have been there before. But so much of what we did at Trojan Vision is what we do in real life, which is really exciting. I mean, being on The Breakdown, that was a comedy news show. So that was the first writer's room that I was ever in. And now, you know, being in The Morning Show, it's not comedy news, very different news stories we're pitching on that show, but it is similar. You're all sitting around the table, throwing things up on the board and seeing what sticks. And I really think that, you know, having that confidence as a freshman and being able to pitch ideas. I remember my first pitch, I was like absolutely terrified for, and kind of having that same fear in the real world, but knowing what's going to happen once you're out there, and kind of having the support of the people that are around you really helps. So it's been a good transition. So much of what I learned there applies now. I didn't even know that I wanted to do comedy before I was at Trojan Vision. I come from a very funny family, so I did not think I was funny. I was like the least funny person there. So joining a comedy show definitely gave me the confidence, and also just kind of the vision of what I wanted to do for my career. Yeah, what do you want to take it away, Dia?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I totally agree with everything you said. And I think some of the alumni have mentioned this before as well, but it's like having that space to make mistakes and explore and learn and grow is something you don't find that easily elsewhere. So Trojan Vision has been that space for a lot of people, and it's given me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, confidence to make those mistakes in work, or I mean, I guess not be afraid of making those mistakes at work. So I feel like the transition has been really easy. With the pandemic, I was working as the marketing manager during the transition into pandemic production era. So I guess that transition was also kind of practiced at Trojan Vision.
Yeah, and I know you yourself are at Paramount right now, and you had experience at the Ellen DeGeneres show as well. Would you say any of the skills, I guess, or the experiences that you had at Trojan Vision had an impact on your work there?
Definitely. I think the biggest thing is being able to adapt and also collaborate well with other people. Because I think especially with my role at Paramount, we work on a lot of different projects, and having the ability to be able to work with different people and within different genres is very important. So I think that's something really valuable.
If you survive the teleprompter going out on air, you can survive anything. That's
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, you know, especially for a student like me who is going to graduate soon, it's really inspiring to hear that both of you have found your place in the industry so early out of college. So yeah, it's been great talking with you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
We're just happy to be here, and happy to hopefully meet all of the other alumni in person soon.
Thank you.
Everybody has their merch. I love that.
You guys.
The Scoop didn't have merch back in the day. I think we should have made some, but I love that everybody brought their merch today and is wearing it. That's awesome. But yes, I know this program, it's already 45 minutes in, so we're going to keep it rolling and welcome the program director for Trojan Vision, Kathleen Dowdy.
Good evening. It's a real pleasure bringing all of our alumni together this evening for this anniversary event. I'd like to welcome all of you. It's my time at Trojan Vision doesn't go back too far, but since I came in 2019, I've taught and worked with hundreds of students. And in that time, I've come to understand that Trojan Vision really is a community. Our students share a certain drive. It's maybe even a hunger, and often a thrill for not just producing live television, but working together to create something uniquely their own. Over the past few weeks, as our students edited the videos you're seeing tonight, pulling clips from shows dating back to 2004, I was struck by the passion, the fun, and the spontaneity of those early shows. Honestly, it felt familiar. Of course it did. This is what defined Trojan Vision for 25 years, and it's still here with our students today. You are a community with history, and I'm grateful for this event to remind us of that. Today at Trojan Vision, we carry that tradition on, and in large part, that's thanks to you, our alumni. So this is the part of the program where we get to show you what's up at Trojan Vision today. We've grown, as you can imagine. Our facility has a new set on stage B. Last fall, as Susan said, we added 2 podcast production classes. But for you tonight, I'm very pleased to share the next video. It features our current 409 showrunners producing new shows and a few classics you may remember. Let's take a look.
To me, Trojan Vision is a place where you can come to learn about how to run a studio and make an episode every week with your fellow students, and where you're able to come and just hone your craft in a space that doesn't have the same risks as a professional environment.
For me, Trojan Vision is like a big family, and I really learned a lot from this station. It's a space where we get to grow and explore ourselves.
Trojan Vision is awesome because it's a sandbox basically where students can just work on something that they're passionate about, and there's not a whole lot of structure to it. It's run by themselves, and it's really, really awesome for that.
Trojan Vision provides a space for us to be able to write sketches together every week and create them in a studio, which is something that not many people have the opportunity to do, and that I'm very grateful to be able to do.
I am a showrunner because I just can't get enough of being on Trojan Vision. I started on the Morning Brew, and then I stayed with the Morning Brew, and then I added Scoop as a showrunner because I just can't get enough of these people.
And I really enjoy working with such a big group, such an enthusiastic group.
I am a showrunner because Trojan Vision is like a big family where we get to grow and explore ourselves and really give back to the community.
When I joined Soundstage back when I was a freshman, it became my favorite class very quickly. And I wanted to give that same experience and space to other students.
And watching something come together live on screen is just so satisfying.
At the end of a show, you can kind of sit back and take a breath and be like, we made that. Like, I just made a show from nothing. And there's something just feels so good. You get this huge weight off your shoulders. And it's really fulfilling to see your work coming out every week. I'm Nadine Lampy, and I am the showrunner for The Scoop.
I'm Rachel Blanton, and I'm the showrunner for Soundstage.
My name is Mary Lou, and I'm the showrunner for The Morning Brew.
My name is Angie Stroud, and I'm the showrunner of Big Medium Show.
My name's Felix Goldwasser. I'm the showrunner of The Water Cooler.
I loved seeing that. And it's incredible to see how the same spirit of Trojan Vision that I feel like was there when I was there, still there today. And really from all the alumni we've talked to tonight, it's been amazing to hear everybody say the same thing, that not only do they feel like they have their career now because of their experiences at USC and Trojan Vision, but also the friends they made and how the Trojan family, you know, has stuck with them through all these years. So that was awesome.
Yeah, and we're so glad to have alumni like you back to see what our students are doing now. If you're interested in getting more involved, we'd actually like to announce our new Trojan Vision mentorship program.
Yes, we are so excited to tell you all about this. We have lots of info. So Phoebe, take it away.
So many of our students struggle with transitioning from USC to a real job, and they could really use advice from experienced alumni such as yourselves, especially since so many of you are professionals in the industry.
Yes, my time at Trojan Vision definitely helped prepare me to enter the workforce after college, but having someone there to help me along the way would have made the process so much easier, especially as we all know the entertainment industry is constantly changing and evolving all the time.
And as a student myself, I would love to have an alumni to help guide me into such a tough industry. So we're looking for Trojan Vision alumni who would be willing to meet one-on-one monthly with students like me, as well as other people in the Trojan Vision community.
Yes, students that need that extra help just navigating their way through internships as well as those postgraduate jobs. So if you're interested, even just a little interested at all, please email Phoebe, and you can do that at this email address, trojanvision@cinema.usc.edu. Write it down, make a little note on your phone, make a note on your computer, because as we've all seen here today, there are so many amazing Trojan Vision alumni, and what a great way to continue to give back to USC by being a part of this program and continue to be involved. All right, well, that is all we have for you. That's the end of our program. So thank you so much for joining us tonight to celebrate 25 amazing years of Trojan Vision. It was so great to be back and reflect on the excitement around production and the people that we worked with to run A real TV station. To finish off, we would like to remind everyone that you can reach out to us and other alumni through our Facebook and LinkedIn Trojan Vision pages. And there they are. And also, I personally would love to connect with anybody on this Zoom. You can find me on social media, on LinkedIn at _Tiffany Taylor.
Great. And also, we really want to thank the team that helped make this anniversary celebration happen. And thank you to those of you who are tuning in tonight and joined us tonight. If you're in town, we'd also be happy to schedule a visit for you to the Trojan Vision facility so you can see us tape an actual live show, so you can come back to Trojan Vision and relive it a little. Just contact me again at trojanvision@cinema.usc.edu. Thank you again and have a great night, everyone.
Bye. Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on. Thanks, Ivy. Thanks, Dawn.